Joe Steckler Day, helping seniors of Brevard, but Joe is not here today, still recovering from his knee transplant surgery. But in his place, we want to say good afternoon to our good friend and colleague on the board of directors of Helping Seniors of Brevard, Jennifer Helin. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, John. How are you today?
Wonderful. And you've got a special guest here with you today?
I do. I am so thankful to be pinch hitting for Joe Steckler today. It is Joe Steckler on the radio day, but very happy to be here today. I have brought a gentleman with me. His name is Cohn. He is a caregiver, or what we call a provider, for seniors helping seniors. Hi, Harry. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Wonderful. We're going to be talking a little bit about seniors helping seniors and seniors in the workforce, but we're also going to be talking about what you just heard Joe Steckler mention on a pre-recorded bit about our upcoming car raffle. It's the upcoming car raffle 10/10/2020. So just about a week and a half away, we will be having the Helping Seniors of Brevard County car raffle. Do you have your tickets, John?
It is going to be a great event, however, a little bit different than what we've had in past years. But nonetheless, even with the pandemic situation still going on, we will have that raffle. And we appreciate everything that Boniface Hires has done for us with the 4 cars that they're offering to us from their automotive group, and also the Muscle Car Museum located right behind the Melbourne Greyhound Park, or maybe we should say the Melbourne Greyhound Park is behind the Muscle Car Museum because the museum is so huge. But interestingly, Jennifer, a lot of people are unaware that it exists, but I want to tell you it sure does. You and I can attest to that. We've been there now several times, and it is a tremendous facility. Harry, you would enjoy it. Got some wonderful cars there that are from the past, present, and maybe even future. But it's a great organization, and they've been terrific to helping seniors of Brevard, and the way in which we're going to be getting one of those cars to a lucky winner.
Absolutely. And Harry, I know you have bought tickets.
Yes, I have some tickets, and I'm looking forward to going over there on a week from Saturday night to the event.
Well, one of the things we do need to remind people is that on next Saturday, unfortunately, the museum is not going to be open because of COVID. Even though the governor has opened things up and we are now officially in stage 3, because we do work with seniors and we are a vulnerable population, we are still holding off on having the big event. The drawing will be held on Saturday the 10th. We will be doing Facebook and YouTube Live from AJ Hires car dealerships. All 3 different dealerships will also be live from the American Muscle Car Museum on Saturday. But unfortunately, we won't be allowed in quite yet.
But Harry, you'll still be allowed to go at a future date.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So don't worry, your ticket is still going to be good for that, and you will not regret it.
No, so hold on to your subs because he is opening. Mark has graciously offered 3 dates next year. We're hoping to be able on Saturday to announce the first date that the museum will be open. He's also offered to buy pizzas, sodas, so everyone can come in and have a wonderful afternoon at the museum. So, Harry, what car are you looking at?
Well, probably that Kia Sportage. My car is currently 15 years old and not on its last legs, but it'd be nice to have something new to drive for a change.
Very good. That Sportage, all the other cars, the Miata is gorgeous. It's a convertible. The Camaro, the Challenger, they are beautiful cars, but I think that Kia Sportage is often overlooked. Yeah. And boy, it is a nice driving car.
I'm sure it is. I've not driven it, but I had a chance to drive the Dodge and thought that was exceptional.
Absolutely. So did you get to see our Saturday shenanigans this past weekend?
Yeah, saw the shenanigans. All we needed behind the shenanigans was some of the Benny Hill music.
the Dodge versus Chevy challenge. And in the end, folks, I'm not sure that either car won. We were impressed with both of them. So I think either one, if you're a winner, either one is a great choice.
Absolutely. So either one of those cars or the other two, the winner will not go wrong, that's for sure.
You can't go wrong. So make sure you get your tickets. You can go to helpingseniors.carraffle.com, or you can call Kim at the office. She's sitting there right now. Her number is 321-473-7770. She'd be very happy to make sure that you have tickets, but make sure to get them soon because, boy, that raffle is coming up. Week and a half, we will be pulling the happy winner.
So we're looking forward to that, Jennifer.
Absolutely.
Tell us about your guest.
So I'm really happy to have Harry with us today. We at Seniors Helping Seniors really do hire seniors to go out and help other seniors. And we're very blessed to have Harry working with us. He is a senior. He's a young one.
Yes, I qualify.
Amazing amount of energy. You do a lot of volunteer work in addition to working with helping seniors of Brevard County. Tell us what prompted you to think about working for Seniors Helping Seniors?
Well, I've been volunteering at Holmes Regional in the cardiac unit for the last 11 years, ever since I had open heart surgery in there. And then 2 years ago, my wife passed away, and we were involved with Hospice of Health First, and they offered grief counseling sessions and stuff like that, which I took advantage of. And then they said that they were looking for some volunteers. So I raised my hand, and now I help them a couple days a week. So between working with homes and hospice people and Seniors Helping Seniors, we keep off the streets.
You stay very busy, Harry. You absolutely do. I know I just talked to you yesterday or the day before, and you're at the cardiac cath lab at 5 a.m., aren't you?
Yes, I am.
A couple days a week. So 5 a.m., he's up and about and continuing on his day with Seniors Helping Seniors afterwards. So, Harry, would you mind sharing how old you are?
I'm 82.
If I am holding that schedule at 82, Harry, I am going to be consider myself very successful. Absolutely.
Well, I sleep well at night.
I am sure.
Harry, you're up and about at what time in the morning?
I get the hospital now. We're just opening up for volunteers again next Monday. So I will go in. I don't actually go to work until Tuesday morning, but I will go in on Monday to find out if there's some new protocols. Of course, we're going to be wearing masks and things like this, and there will be a change in the number of visitors that they allow in with patients and things. So we got a learning curve to go through before we actually start. But normally, as I say, our early customers or patients, as we call it, normally come in like 5:30 in the morning for folks that are having an ablation, where they correct an atrial fibrillation problem, and it's a fairly long procedure, and it's a couple hours of getting them prepped in the morning, so they come in early. So we're there bright and early.
What made you decide that you wanted to volunteer and do this?
Well, I got through heart surgery in there back in 2010 and did well with that. I had a new aorta valve and 2 bypasses, and I've been there ever since.
So ever since that time, it kind of inspired you to go ahead and volunteer your time and your efforts to help out some other people because the experience obviously was so positive for you.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And I think that's the beauty of having someone who has been there, done that, coming in and helping another person, because you can share your experiences with the clients, the families, and in layman's terms that they will understand, probably maybe even a little bit better than the doctors can sometimes.
Well, again, a lot of times I'll be talking when the patient is in a surgical suite and I'll be talking with the family and telling them, not from a doctor's standpoint, but about life after open heart surgery.
Right, from a personal standpoint.
Yes, and having gone through it, and I know the weird things that kind of sometimes happen to your mind and things like this after you've had serious surgery like that. But I enjoy doing it. I like to talk to people, as Jennifer will testify. But I just enjoyed doing this kind of work. I used to, when I lived up in the southern tier of New York, I was active in things like the fire department and the Chamber of Commerce and United Way and on and on and on. So, we've had and I was active in Rotary for many years. So, volunteering and giving back to the community is just part of who I am.
I think being able to give back to the community, Harry, is so important, and it keeps people going. You're a very young person. You look young. You look like you're in your 50s. And I think your work ethic speaks volumes as to what keeps you active, healthy, and young.
Exactly. I'm not somebody who can sit around all day and read a book, or I can read a book once in a while, but I got to be moving. And I think that's as we get older, and a lot of people, they just pull into themselves and don't go out or do anything. And I think that you've got to be out. You got to keep moving.
Absolutely. That really speaks to me. In talking to my mom and dad, Dad's 83, Mom's 76 this year. She'll kill me for announcing that on the radio. But, their biggest advice has always been keep moving.
Exactly.
I think that was important. My mother lived to be 103, and she was very active up until almost the very end.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
So staying active, keep moving, and keep being social. And I'm sure that with the volunteer work that you do and working with us at Seniors Helping Seniors, that helps to keep you social.
It does. It does, because as I say, my wife passed away a couple of years ago, so I live alone. And I just get giving a chance to work with some of these seniors. We've had, I've worked with dementia patients. I currently am working with a gentleman who lost his vision. And I do help prepare meals and do things like that, do a little shopping for them. And it's just you get a chance to know these people. And I mean, you almost become part of their family.
That's one of the things that we like too, is that peer-to-peer relationship. There's nothing better than having one bachelor helping out another bachelor.
Exactly.
And that goes a long way to helping gain that trust and confidence with the people that you're working with. They can relate to you and know that you have a good understanding of what they're going through. And obviously, it seems to work well. And Jennifer, with Harry and the others the other folks that you have within your organization, I'm sure that's what you look for. In the people that you bring on board, and you're trying to get that same close family feeling that obviously you have here with Harry.
Absolutely. And Harry is the picture of who we look for at Seniors Helping Seniors. We want someone who has some life experience. And Harry, having been widowed and going through a couple of medical procedures, he can share those triumphs with people and give a lot of encouragement to folks.
Harry, with the symptoms you had leading up to your hospitalization for the heart surgery that you had, what were you experiencing at the time?
Well, I didn't think an awful lot about it. At that time, I had a cardiologist with Health First, and I also was working with the VA up in Vieira. And I've been in the VA system for over 50 years, and as an Air Force veteran. And basically, they knew that something was wrong with my heart valve because they could put a stethoscope on it and listen to it. Mm-hmm. So after it got to a point where they sent me down to have a heart catheterization with Dr. Charles Croft, and lo and behold, not only was my valve worse shaped than what they could tell from listening to it and just an echocardiogram, but I also had 200% blocked coronary arteries.
Wow. 100% blocked.
100% blocked.
Wow.
So,
And Harry, you were feeling no symptoms from that at all?
no, as I look back on it, after my surgery, that I had some shortness of breath and things like that, but I really didn't even think much about it.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
but
That's
What about Harry? Your blood pressure, was that off the chart?
no, it was. I've been on blood pressure medicine for probably 40 years, so we didn't even think about that. But as I say, when I woke up from the heart catheterization with Dr. Croft there and Dr. Mendez, who was the chief of cardiac surgery at that time, and my wife, and they're all sitting there grinning at me, and they said, "Well, we think that Dr. Mendez said that told me what my problems were," and I said, "Well, I says this is kind of a sudden thing." I says, "What are my options?" Well, Dr. Mendez said, based on his many years of experience as a cardiac surgeon, that if I didn't have something done, I would either have a massive heart attack or a massive stroke within the next 12 to 18 months. And I looked at Dr. Mendez and I said, "Doctor, you're a hell of a salesman."
Pretty easy sale.
So the next morning, I was on the table at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that is making me think it really is important to go and have your normal checkups. Making
you're
sure
right.
that you are taking care of yourself and
You're right,
having those
Jennifer.
routine checkups, because if you hadn't been going to the doctor without that many symptoms, you probably wouldn't have known something was so seriously wrong.
Exactly. So
And
it's
again,
important.
Harry, you're indicating that you had no symptoms, right?
Not really. As I say, I realized later on that I had some shortness of breath, and I just, I didn't really pay much attention to it at the time. But now, as I say, I go see the cardiologist every year. They do an echo on me pretty much every year or every couple of years, and my heart's doing fine. Blood pressure's good, cholesterol's good, and the thing is that when they told me that I had plugged arteries, 100% blocked arteries, I thought, well, I'm paying for all the greasy burgers I've eaten all my life, which there's nothing better than a good old burger with the juice running down your arm. But 75% of your cholesterol is produced in your liver, so it's only 25% of your cholesterol that you really have any control over. So I don't eat much red meat anymore, and a lot more vegetables and fruits and things like that. So in talking with families in the waiting rooms and things like that, we find that when somebody's having heart surgery, you'll find out that his or her kin has had heart trouble for years. Some of them have passed away at a very young age because of complications and things like this. So it's an important thing to if you don't think something's right, go have someone look at it.
Jennifer, if you could reintroduce your guest and let folks know who we're talking to.
So we are talking to Harry Cohn. Harry he works with us here at Seniors Helping Seniors, and a volunteer extraordinaire with Hospice of Health First and over at the Cath Lab at Holmes Regional Medical Center.
Yep.
He is a great example of an active senior, and so we thought we'd bring him on today and talk a little bit about aging well.
And Harry is doing that. He's aging very well, and a good picture of health, Harry. We're delighted to hear that. Now, in the hospital, when you were there volunteering your time, when a patient first comes in with his or her family, what are some of the things that you notice that immediately can help calm some of their fears?
Well, because let's face it, anybody, even if they're going in for a heart cath, they're scared because it's a medical procedure. And they're going to be some of the procedures they don't put you under full anesthesia, but they put you in kind of a twilight sleep. People are nervous and they're scared, especially if the husband or the wife or whoever, or the son even, is having open heart surgery, and it's a scary thing. But as they say, having talked to people for many years, a number of families for over the years, that it does help them. They're talking to somebody not from a medical standpoint, but from somebody who has been in the trenches, who has done it, who's had it.
Makes a big difference, I'm sure, as to how they feel as they go into the procedure. They're in the hospital.
Yeah.
And when they come out, are you there as well when they come out?
Well, sometimes, as I say, normally I will see the patient or see the family usually for the next 3 days anyway, the days that I'm working there. But a lot of times you'll talk to the patients, and as they say, they're able to do now. They're able to do other types of procedures with heart valve replacement, other than just opening your chest up and putting a new valve in. They can do a thing called a transcatheter aortic valve replacement, where they can actually go in through the femoral artery in the groin and go up into the heart and replace a valve that way. No, not everybody is a candidate for that, but it works wonderfully with folks that would not be deemed to be a good surgical candidate for traditional open heart surgery as we get into our 80s and 90s.
It is truly amazing, Jennifer, as our guest is telling us, what advancements have been made in medicine, in the field especially of health, or in the area of heart care, heart surgery, and it's truly amazing. In fact, I have a friend of mine who has said, if you want to get sick with something, make it the heart, because the success rate at handling heart attacks and various problems associated with the heart has become so good.
It really is amazing. The technology is amazing. One thing I wanted to go back to, though, is, attitude. They say attitude is everything, and that is so true. Sometimes, especially what we've seen with Seniors Helping Seniors, people have something wrong and they get scared and they kind of shut down. And I think with Harry, you had that major procedure, but that didn't stop you from continuing and
No.
moving forward.
Jennifer, if we can, and Harry and our audience, we're going to take time out for a brief update on weather and some other information. Then we'll get back to the second portion of Helping Seniors of Brevard this afternoon, right here on 90.3 FM. We will continue. Stay tuned. 12:34 in the afternoon here on 90.3 FM. Helping Seniors of Brevard is the name of the show. I'm John Harper, along with Jennifer Helin and your special guest, Jennifer. And before we get back to Harry, everybody likes that music, don't they?
You can't help but kind of dance a little in your seat when that comes on.
That's right. Good stuff. Harry, I guess you like that as well?
Oh, yeah. Glenn Miller's in the mood.
Yep. Good music, and we always enjoy playing that. Jennifer, before we get back to Harry, your special guest, why don't we talk again a little bit more about the car raffle that is coming up?
Absolutely. And I also wanted to bring up that Helping Seniors of Brevard County, this car raffle is a huge part of our budget for the year, and it's really important that we can meet that budget so we continue to offer the senior helpline here in Brevard County. But we also have some really wonderful sponsors that are with us throughout the year. People like William Johnson, elder law attorney, Compassionate Downsizing for Seniors, Dr. Lee Sheldon. We have a lot of partners that work with us throughout the year, like I said, to help us continue the mission of helping seniors of Brevard County, providing education, and also that senior helpline, which is so important for the seniors in our area. So please make sure to get your tickets for the Helping Seniors Car Raffle, helpingseniors.carraffle.com, or call Kim, our information specialist at the office, and you can reach her at 321-473-7770. Remember, it's $25 a ticket, 5 for $100, so that's your best deal, because not only do you get a chance to win a car, but next year you will also get to go into the Muscle Car Museum, 3 different dates that they will be open for us. And you are helping support a wonderful nonprofit here in Brevard County.
Now, Harry, you've already purchased your ticket, but
Oh, yes.
you won't be able to go in the night of the drawing, but hang on to that ticket. As everyone else listening to us, that ticket will still be good for your admission to the Muscle Car Museum at the dates to be announced.
To be announced. We're hoping to be able to announce on Saturday, the day of the drawing, the first opening date. We will see if that happens or not. You know, so much is still up in the air, even though we have started officially phase 3. We want to make sure that we are keeping all of our seniors safe. So as soon as we can, we will be announcing that first date.
Jennifer, in the Muscle Car Museum, they've got the cars all kind of in chronological order from, I guess, the 50s on up through the 2000s. And I believe most of the cars, if I'm not mistaken, are all American cars. Do you have a favorite one that's in there?
Boy, is that hard. It was nice to go and do a little filming because usually when I'm there or the night of the drawing, we're working, so I don't get around
You're
to see a lot
passing out
of the
potato
cars.
salad.
Exactly. So it was really nice to follow Ed around and get that tour, and you can see the tour on our website, helpingseniorsofbrevardcounty.com, or go on our YouTube channel, where Ed talks about the different cars and the stories behind the cars. They're absolutely amazing. It makes the cars even that much more fascinating. But you know, the Corvette row is probably my favorite section.
Same
and those
here.
Stingrays, I would have no problem driving one of those home. But they're
Yeah.
all amazing cars.
Yeah, they truly are. But the 4 cars that will be raffled off, one of the 4, they're all kind of special as well. And which are the 4 cars, again, being raffled off?
So we have a 2020 Chevrolet Camaro, a 2020 Kia Sportage, the 2020 Mazda Miata convertible, and of course the 2020 Dodge Challenger, which was my favorite going into the Dodge versus Chevy face-off last Saturday. But
Yeah,
boy,
I like that
Camaro
Dodge as well. But the Camaro is hot. It's a fast car, and that would make a great winner if I had to choose that one as well. I wouldn't be disappointed.
No, not at all, not at all. And I think we kind of surprised the gentleman out there from the dealerships. The first person to actually lay a little rubber was my office manager, Ricky Montgomery. And since she did it and didn't get yelled at, we decided, hey, the door is open. So this one of the reasons, another reason why I love Harry, we're both from the same area. I'm from upstate New York as well. So this farm girl got to put the pedal to the metal. So it was a lot of fun.
I didn't know you were from upstate New York. Where are you from?
I am from a very tiny little town called Waverly, New York. If anybody knows where Binghamton is, it's just west
know where
of
Binghamton is. Harry, how about yourself?
And I grew up probably, 40 miles away from you, up in Steuben County, New York.
Beautiful area, especially during the summer, the fall and the spring.
Yes.
It doesn't get much better.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I will be flying up actually on Friday to go collect my parents and help them drive back down. So looking forward to seeing some fall leaves. I have not seen that probably in the 20 years that I've been down here. I've gone up to New York, but it's only been in the summertime. So really looking forward to those fall leaves. A little nervous, taking lots of precautions, flying during the pandemic. But we did it the other way in the springtime. I helped them go up so successfully. So hoping for another successful trip back down.
What airline are you going to be on?
Allegiant, which is, I shouldn't say this on air, I guess, not my favorite. But they fly directly into Elmira, New York, which is a tiny little airport. So it's a very safe airport.
Would you fly out of Seminole County?
I'll fly to Sanford. And the fun thing about that I just found out about is that President Trump will be speaking Friday night at the Sanford airport. I'll be leaving Saturday afternoon. So I'm wondering what kind of extra precautions they'll be taking, what I'm in for when I go in and through security. I'm glad I'm flying out well before, but I don't know what to expect. So I'm going to be there a little bit early.
So you're flying to New York. You'll have your mother and father driving back with you.
Yes.
kind of special bonding.
It is, and I'm sure my dad wouldn't necessarily mind. You know, we have different challenges as we age, and my father is an extremely healthy, golfs two times a week, 18 holes. President of the barbershop chapter here, the Harbor City Harmonizers, but he had a seizure this spring. Scared the heck out of me, thought he was having a stroke, but it turned out, thank goodness, to be a seizure. But because of that, he is not allowed to drive for 6 months. So he is cranky. And I don't blame him, because after driving for so many years, not being able to drive, you know, we see that with Seniors Helping Seniors. That's a hard thing to deal with. So Mom and I will be sharing the driving coming back down.
Okay, like I said, some special bonding.
Yes, it will be. And I won't pick on Rosemary's driving on the air, I promise.
Well, I'm sure she appreciates that as well. Again, just to put a wrap for the moment on our car raffle, that comes up on October the 10th. And folks can go online to Facebook or YouTube and to see the 4 cars that are up for raffle. And if you want to buy a ticket, there are several ways to do that, Jennifer. How can folks get a ticket?
So people can stop by any of AJ Hires dealerships. They have tickets available right there at the dealership. You can see the car, maybe even take one for a test drive. So definitely stop by. AJ has been a wonderful supporter of helping seniors of Brevard County.
Yeah.
You can go online to helpingseniorscarraffle.com. You can buy tickets right there. You can also call Kim at the office, our information specialist. She would be very happy to talk with you at 321-473-7770. And of course, we have tickets at the office at Seniors Helping Seniors. And I was joking with a friend over the weekend. I always have tickets in my purse too. So if you see me out and about, hit me up. I'll be there.
So again, October the 10th. That's the big date. And it's the big Helping Seniors of Brevard raffle. As you mentioned a few moments ago, Jennifer, this is our signature fundraising event for the year. So this is very special, and we hope that as many people as possible can come out and support this tremendous event.
It really is. You're helping support a local nonprofit that has a very big impact in our community. And one of the things that Carrie Fink, our media specialist, was talking about, when you go into a car raffle, a national car raffle, you might be millions and millions of people. Where this raffle, you are thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but maybe a couple thousand. So your chances of winning are much greater than your average raffle. So make sure you do get your tickets, because you got to be in it to win it, as Carrie says.
That's the way to make it happen, Jennifer. And somebody is going to walk away with a beautiful car on Saturday, October the 10th. So we can't wait for that. Looking forward to the big event.
Absolutely. So back to our esteemed guest, Harry Cohn. He is a caregiver or provider, as we call him, with Seniors Helping Seniors, but also a volunteer extraordinaire, and a great example of a good attitude and aging well. And right before the break, we were talking about how attitude really is everything, and that we do see, especially over the last 8 years, where people will come against a challenge, be it medical or a death of a spouse, and that's where they stop. They don't continue. They fall into a rut or depression, and it's very difficult to kind of get up and out of that. And Harry, you have been there, done that. You've done it extremely successfully. Can you talk about what gives you some motivation? And you have a great attitude. He's got a great sense of humor too. What's behind all that?
Well, I just I feel good when I'm helping people, and there is so much need, especially with coronavirus and stuff like that. It's just knocked the legs out from underneath, because so many of our seniors can't get out to go places and to see people. They're confined to their homes, and when you do go out, it's hard to recognize people because everybody's wearing a mask. So it's a tough thing. But if and I will say one other thing here that as I say, Jennifer and I are both from upstate New York, and while they had good senior services up there, they had nothing compared to what we have down here. And I mean, between the excellent hospitals and facilities that we have down here, and like seniors, helping seniors at Brevard. I mean, these things are just wonderful to be able to help the people down here. I've talked to people that have had loved ones going to Joe's Club and things like that. And I mean, what a thing that is, because it not only helps the patient, but it also gives the caregiver a little bit of relief.
Absolutely.
It sure beats meeting once a week in the basement of the Catholic Church or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And bringing in a potluck dinner. But Harry, you mentioned your volunteer work that you do. What about some of the other volunteers that you're associated with? Are there similar qualities, such as what you bring to the game? Do the other volunteers, do they have that same interest in life and wanting to help others as you do?
Yes, they do. And again, it's a lot of the volunteers that we have at Holmes Regional, and of course the other 3 hospitals in the system, are most of us are seniors. So we've been there and we've done that, and people, we're just, everybody's so excited to be able to get back to volunteering again as when the doors open up for us next Monday. And it's been a frustrating 6.5 months, because it's just, all of a sudden you're running an active lifestyle and helping out, and then all of a sudden, boom, you can't get in the door. And that's for your safety and for the people in the hospital safety, because this COVID thing was just one of these crazy things that really nobody, when they started this thing, nobody knew much about it.
I would imagine Harry and Jennifer, Health First, along with many other medical facilities and organizations, still want to ensure that their patients and visitors and people who are coming in and out of the hospital are exercising the highest degree of safety, not only for themselves, but for the people around them, too.
Yes. As I understand it, when we go back, normally our badges we've got electronic badges, and we go in an employee entrance, but those are currently not closed, and everybody has to go through screening and have their temperature checked when they come in the door before, and then there are sanitizers and other things like that. And as volunteers, we'll be wearing masks just like everybody else.
And even though we have had the phase 3 opening on Friday, I do think it is important that we continue to practice the safety precautions that have put in place, because that's what's gotten us through to these low numbers now. And it's been successful. So let's continue to be successful and wear the masks, do the hand sanitizer, so that we aren't going backwards. We want to keep this thing going down and getting rid of it by next year. Hopefully this will be just a distant memory.
Jennifer, let's talk about your organization and some of the safety measures that you are ensuring that your employees follow to make sure that they are safe and the people that you come in contact with are as well.
Yes, I am so grateful that to date we have been completely COVID-free, our clients and all of our caregivers. We've been very careful, and one of the things that I think has helped us is that we do hire seniors. So our seniors are not the kind that are out at bars on a Friday night. They are practicing their social distancing. They are wearing masks, hand sanitizing. So they're really keeping themselves safe. And by doing that, they're keeping our clients safe. We are wearing masks, hand sanitizer. We've got lots of gloves, supplies at the office to give out. We, at the very beginning, not knowing really what to expect, we went through all of our clients and said, is this a client that really needs us? Or is it just a kind of a nice thing? How much exposure is there? We looked at every single service by itself to make sure that it was a safe place for both the client and the caregiver, and that we could make sure going forward that it was a good thing. And I think by doing that, kind of pulling back and looking at everything very, very meticulously, we have been able to keep everybody safe.
Have you, Jennifer, had to have your organization evolve and change since the COVID and the pandemic started back in late February? Have you changed a lot since then as far as those procedures that you have in effect?
We definitely have had some procedural changes. You know, when our folks clock in and clock out, they clock in from the home phone through an 800 number, and that system actually reminds everybody when you clock in about these symptoms of COVID. And if you have any of these symptoms, do not go past go. You know, don't collect your $200,
No.
go right back home. But I think what we've noticed too is that, you know, we started electronic caregiver. We started offering that right before COVID hit. And the importance of that has now become even more so, where when people were worried about having anyone from the outside into the home, having an emergency call button became a peace of mind, where people were hesitant to have one before. Now being alone, it was a little bit more peace of mind for family members and for the senior to have that button and know that if something happened, they were a click away from getting help in the house, telemed in the house. They're able to actually monitor blood pressure, glucose, temperature, weight, a bunch of different medical parts from the house. So the doctor can see that dashboard and say, oh, the blood pressure is going up a little bit. We need to do something about it without them even having to leave home. So I think the importance of that technology within caregiving has really shown itself through COVID.
Has that, Jennifer, changed dramatically since the pandemic started, or was this something that you were already using before that time?
We had just started it, but now we're seeing a big uptick in the call for it. And I think, you know, like I said, people were maybe a little bit hesitant because, you know, I hate to pick on the commercials, but we all remember the commercials of Help, I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up. But it's really not that anymore. This really is a personal safety system that helps people stay at home, stay healthy, and stay independent. And I think that mind shift has changed with COVID, realizing that I want to stay at home. How do I do that successfully? I don't want to go to the doctor's office if I don't have to. You know, it's not a life-threatening situation. So what can I do to keep myself as safe as possible? And this has been one of the ways to do it.
Jennifer, I had a telephone, not interview, an appointment, telemed appointment, I guess they're called. And it was the first one that I had done. And it was quite painless, very efficient, or as I would like to say, cost effective. I mean, I did it right from my home and my phone, and it took what normally would have taken, by the time I drove over to Orlando and back, would have been half the day. And I was able to do this and be out and about in about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. It was great.
Absolutely. And the other thing that we've noticed is occasionally we would get calls before for check-ins. They didn't really want anybody at the house, but could you call and remind mom a few days a week to take their medications, to make sure she's eaten? You know, maybe the family is out of town, it's a different time zone, or they're going to be on vacation, and they just wanted kind of a call-in service. And through COVID, we saw a resurgence of requests for that. So we have put a new program together to do just that, to help people without going in the home, a very scripted phone call that we can make a couple days a week, every day of the week, depending on the need, to go through and make sure that people are taking their medication, that they are eating, that those activities of daily living are being checked off. And I don't think we would have done that pre-COVID, but now it has become a wanted service. So we're filling that need.
And of course, with cell phones and all of the other devices at our disposal, it makes it really easy to stay in touch, stay in contact, and to make sure that everybody is okay. I know a good friend of mine and myself, over the years, we just text each other in the morning just to make sure that we didn't ask necessarily how are you, just to make sure you're up and about and everything is okay. And it's a very efficient way to just keep in touch and communicate.
It is. It's a good thing. It's a social piece too. Even though it might not be a huge text, there's a social piece that somebody looks after me and cares about me enough to text. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. We've done this now for years, and it's worked out well. So and always appreciate that and enjoy that. Well, Jennifer, we're coming close to the end of our hour here. Unfortunately, it's been a delightful conversation with you and your special guest, Harry. And before we have to wrap up, why don't we give another shout out to information about the upcoming raffle on October the 10th.
All right. So make sure you get those tickets, 25 for one, or you can get 5 tickets for $100. So that's your best deal. You can get them by calling Kim at our Helping Seniors helpline, 321-473-7770. You can go to helpingseniorscarraffle.com, or you can stop at any of AJ Hire's dealerships, and they will have tickets there. So make sure to get out, get your tickets, help support Helping Seniors Brevard County so we can continue the work of our senior helpline and our education programs. They are all free to the public. Kim almost acts as a case manager, making sure that people have the resources that they need. She follows up. It's almost like having someone in the business. She makes sure that you have exactly what you need.
I've got a friend in the business.
Absolutely.
Right? That's a good way to put it. And Jennifer, again, that ticket that people purchase, or tickets, plural, that can also go for a future admittance to the Muscle Car Museum. It will not be available for October the 10th, but at future dates coming up in the new year, it will be.
Absolutely. And one more thing I just wanted to add real quick. Thank you, Harry, so much for coming in and joining me today. And I want to encourage all of our seniors out there, take Harry's example. If you are thinking about volunteering, just go ahead and do it. Try it once. You will probably find that you absolutely love it. There are a lot of volunteer opportunities in our county with the hospital, with Aging Matters, or if you'd like a part-time job, make sure you call us at Seniors Helping Seniors.
And what's that phone number?
Our number at Seniors Helping Seniors is 321-722-2999.
All right, good information. And Jennifer, thank you so much for all of your help and bringing Harry on board with us here today. Good meeting you, Harry, and getting to know a little bit about you, your background, and you're a wonderful example in our community of a person who is giving a lot back. And that is very much appreciated. And good work, Harry. We tip our transmitter to you.
Thank you.
All right. And Jennifer, thank you so much. We will look forward to seeing you again right here on the Helping Seniors of Brevard show, heard every Wednesday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock. Joe Steckler normally here with us, but Joe is still recuperating from his knee transplant surgery. And hopefully next week, maybe he'll be back here in the studio with us. But nonetheless, Jennifer and Harry, thanks so much. We appreciate it. And that's going to be a wrap for today's edition of Helping Seniors of Brevard, right here on 90.3 FM. I'm John Harper, and until we meet again, thanks, and keep helping seniors of Brevard in mind along with that car raffle.